Welcome back to the Consult Centre podcast with me, your host, Ruth Wilkinson. Your podcast for all things in startup business, PR, digital, raising the awareness of your brand, featuring interviews with local and successful business owners, giving you the benefit of their help and advice. Enjoy the show. So welcome back to another episode of the Consult Centre podcast. I'm here with Tracey. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not bad. We're not bad. So Tracey, for people that don't know, you have Bryn Woodlands House.
Yeah, well, Bryn Woodlands House, it's a guest house in Colwyn Bay North Wales. And we've been here just on the 15th of February, 6 years. So it's gone quite quickly, really. I'm from Yorkshire originally, and my husband is from Lancashire. So if you look at our website or look at our logo, you'll see two roses, and that's the reason.
So what prompted the move?
Well, Joel and I met in hotels. I worked in a 4-star, he worked in a 5-star, but between us, we've worked in 4 and 5-star hotels for a number of years. And when we first met, it was something we talked about, but then, you know how it is, it's like a pipe dream, oh, that'll never happen, we'll never have our own place, it won't, you know. And we both left hotels and went into the corporate world. And it didn't really suit either of us, if I'm honest, but we did it because it paid the bills. We decided we liked our weekends off. So when in hospitality, you don't tend to get that. So then I was in quite a stressful job. I think I made it more stressful than it needed to be. I'm one of those. And Joe was in quite an easy job, well paid, but an easy job. So he would troll the internet while he was at work, and he'd be like, oh, what about this place? What about there? And he did actually look from almost John O'Groats to Land's End, looking for somewhere. We thought about Cornwall, but boy, that is expensive. Even just to move down there is expensive. Yeah. And then where we are now, Bryn Woodlands, came up twice in his searches. So we came to look at it, I think, it was either 2014. No, we moved in 2015. So yeah, it would have been 2014. We came to look at it at the Easter holidays, and we just fell in love with the area and the place. And it was just, we either do it now or we'll never do it type of thing. And we haven't looked back. Other than last year.
Well, yeah. So it's quite a scary move, that though, isn't it? That is you're not just moving your house, you're moving your house, you're moving where you work, you're moving your potential to make any money. I mean, it's a big. What did you learn from that experience? It's a big experience, that, isn't it?
It was a bit scary, but do you know, at the time I didn't really think about it. I think we just wanted to do something else. I'm not going to lie, we were in debt, and a way out of that was to sell the house. I'm getting loads of notifications on my thing, sorry. So at the time, it wasn't really in our minds of it wasn't going to work, but loads of friends and people that we knew where we lived in Bedfordshire, they were like, yeah, good luck with it all and what have you. But you could tell by the way they were speaking to us that it was going to be a little bit like they'll be back. Give them 5 months, they'll be back.
Give them a pat on the back, send them on the way. We'll see them in a bit.
yeah, we'll see you by Christmas type of thing. Do you know what? It wasn't, the day that we arrived, it could have been, it was quite scary, the day we arrived. Just because things had gone wrong with the previous owners, and as we walked in the door at 10 o'clock at night after travelling and packing the house and everything else, they just like bombarded us with like everything. The internet's gone down, the phones are not working, and we hadn't done anything. So it was a bit scary, and I went and stood in the car park, cried and phoned my sister and said, I'm coming over to you.
Yeah, I don't want to be a grown-up anymore. This is a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't like this idea. Working for myself and running a business, no, it's not for me. And I just phoned her up and I went, oh, what am I going to do? She went, don't worry, we'll sort it out, whatever it is, we'll get there, you know, but you can always come if you need to. And so that always sticks in the back of my mind, because that evening was just like, oh my God, what we done?
Yeah. So you said about 6 years. So we can't kind of do this podcast without mentioning the last year, because hospitality, I mean, I know lots of people are being hit hard emotionally, personally, lots of things, but, and it's not to take away from that, but from a hospitality point of view, I've seen you particularly go through we can open, no, we can't, we can, we can, but ish.
Yeah.
Now we can't at all. And obviously in Wales, you've had as well different, and in some cases earlier on, far more strict kind of criteria, haven't you? So how has that been for you, you know, personally? How has that impacted you personally?
I'm not going to lie, it's been really scary. It has been a proper emotional roller coaster. I've been in some networking groups, been online, and I've gone online and I've just burst into tears because it's like someone just listening to you. But like you say, everybody's been in the same, like we're all in this same boat, but it's a slightly different storm, or whichever way around you want to look at that. But to be told we couldn't be open in the first instance was like, oh my word, because this last year, 2020, was, I know everybody goes, oh, it's going to be my year and it's going to be this, but I'd actually started a business plan and a strategy to get the funds together to be able to start getting the funds by the end of the year, so that this year we were in a better position to actually buy the property, because at the moment we rent. And so of course when that happened, it was like, oh, what are we going to do? Bookings were just cancelling left, right and centre. And then we were told we could be open. And we were very lucky. We actually got contacted by the council and they asked if we would be willing to open for key workers and essential workers. So we had to get a licence to do that. So we have, out of a lot of hospitality places, managed to stay open, but only dribs and drabs. It sort of kept the wolf from the door, basically. But emotionally, it's just been so draining, because when we were told we could open in July, normally for the summer holidays, you have Easter to build up to how busy it's going to be. And of course, we didn't have that. So we didn't have anybody. And then wham, we were full from July right through to September. So by the time September ended, it was like, and breathe. And then we were like, oh yeah, September's going to be good. And then they put us on lockdown. They put us on a firebreaker. I think that's what they called it. They've all been called different names, haven't they? And Wales in particular. So we seem to have had so many more than anyone else. And yeah, so then that was like, oh, okay. Oh, well, we'll be open for Christmas, surely. And then no, and it was, I think we closed in Wales 19th of December and been closed ever since. Right. Other than like for us, essential workers.
So all that Christmas trade, or because a lot of hospitality does rely, doesn't it, on that November, December trade, to then carry them through that, what was normally a January and February, a bit of a ghost town, and then it kicks in again for Easter. So a lot of people are kind of like, well, it's not so much about now, it's about the fact that back then would have got me through now, and I've not got that either.
Yeah, it's a bit like we've had 3 winters.
Right. Yeah.
So your down season, it's like you've had 3, possibly 4 down seasons in 1 year.
Yeah.
Instead of having your build up. A lot of people were busy in the summer. A lot of guest houses and things have reported that they've had the best summer they've ever had. But just because that was the best summer doesn't mean it will take them through to next summer.
No. And you did do some quite innovative stuff, didn't you? So you were able to kind of open up, well, you kind of almost went out and said, look, you know, you could use this as a workspace, because people's offices were being closed, weren't they? And so bless you, for a limited time that you were allowed to do it, you did have people coming in that were almost using that like a little socially distant office space, didn't you?
Like
as well?
hot desks. Yeah, we might probably, once we're allowed to be open, we'll probably do that again, because what we found is people working from home, and I think people are still going to be working from home for a long while, but like anybody, you get a bit bored of your own four walls, don't you? So yeah, we opened up our breakfast room. We weren't using it for any other reason, so we opened up the breakfast room to be like little hot desks, and that worked really well. A few people came and used that, and yeah, it's something that I think I saw a post on Facebook, and it was a pub that was doing it, and I thought, well, if they can, why can't we? We've got you know, we've got a massive area, and the good thing about ours as well is that, I don't know about yourself, but you take your laptop and you go and sit in a cafe or whatever, but you've got to pack it all up to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't have to do that here. There's only us here, and no one else is going to be coming in and out just to pick up a coffee or anything. So the advantage is you can sit at your desk or table and there for as long as you need to. So that was interesting to do that.
Yeah. And what have you found? Because I suppose people also were coming, weren't they? Not just that home office thing, like you rightly say, everyone's bored of their own four walls. But one of the things that's been, because with our place, we've not been able to do the hot desking bit. And some of the stuff that we've had back from people is, you know, home is my home. Yeah. And actually now I don't feel like I've got an obvious break between those two places. So my stress levels are going up because I can't relax at home because I feel like I'm almost always at work, or it's always in the corner of my mind or in the corner of my eye. Whereas coming to you does create that basic separation between this is home, now I've done my work, now I can go home. You know, for people's health and mental well-being, I think that kind of service you provided there will be vital to some people.
Oh, definitely. I think, like you say, I mean, like for us, we live at work, but we live at the back. So once those doors shut, that's our home. But when you're working off your kitchen table or your breakfast bar or whatever, I'm showing my age there with the breakfast bar. But you don't get away from it. And as much as people say, oh, step away from your computer or go for a walk, how many of us actually do that? I mean, I'm constantly on my phone, you know, posting something or following something or networking. So if you're working, at least if you could come in somewhere like this, you get, even if you only came for an hour, it's a break from your space. You're still working, and you probably are more productive in that hour, in that time, for 3 hours at home.
Yeah. Now, you talked there about going for a walk. So I know you're quite famous for your early morning walks. You're out very early. Often, actually, in the last period, we could hardly see you on your morning walk. It was still pitch black at 6 o'clock in the morning. But, you know, all joking aside, has that been an important part for you in terms of getting through it, or?
Yeah. Actually, it's been an amazing part. Why I started it in the first instance, I haven't got a clue. But the people that follow me are like, oh, you can't stop. I stopped for a week over Christmas and they were all messaging me, are you all right?
For those people listening to this, what we mean by that is that you go out very early in the morning and you go live and you just talk away whilst you're walking along the shore front, don't you?
Yeah. It just started off as just like trying to get people to realise, because we were in this lockdown, that there's more around you. Because I've been in Colwyn Bay 6 years and I have discovered walks. I've discovered the woods just up the road, which is literally 5 minutes walk away, and the buildings. I mean, it's in a Victorian town, really. I think it was developed Victorian times when they came out to go by the sea and what have you. So a lot of the buildings are massive, but you never look up, and it doesn't matter where you are, you never look up. And I think it was just one day I just looked up and I was like, wow. So I just shared it I did a video to start with and just shared it. And then the next day I did a video and I thought, why am I doing a video? I'll just do it live. And it stuck, and 12 months down the line, Monday to Friday, I'm live on Facebook and still doing it.
With a massive array of different bobble hats whilst trying to keep yourself protected from the elements.
Yeah, there's been a few times I've nearly fallen in the dark because I stupidly decided to get a little ring light so that people could see me, but not realising that the ring light's on me and I can't see a thing the other side of it.
You've just blinded yourself with a ring light. But people have found those really quite uplifting, haven't they? I mean, people do log on to watch them because you are just chatting away, and also you are chatting to people that are commenting as well. So I suppose they're, if they can't get out, if they're shielding, if they're not able to, you're almost giving them their, sounds a bit odd, but almost their hour of outside time, be it virtually. But it's probably, well, it has helped a number of people who are stuck indoors to feel as though they've had some connection with outdoors.
Yeah, the comments that I've had back, and if anybody who's listening to this does Facebook Lives or goes live on their platforms, a lot of people who go live, they just go live and they don't actually don't always interact with the comments that are coming through. Now, I try to do that. Unless I've got a point to make, and then I might ignore them and then go back to them. But generally, I will chat. So it's ended up being a little bit like sitting around a cafe table and having a chat over a coffee, because someone will say, I can't think of an example now. It's typical that, but someone will say something and then I'll comment back, and then someone will interact with that comment, and it's become quite a chat rather than just me going live. And the funny thing is I'm reaching Australia. Can you believe it? And I'm walking on the beach in the pitch black snow. The sand is frozen. The day that I went on the sand and it was frozen, I was like, oh, this is a bit weird. Walking on the sand and it's rock hard. And I've got Vanessa in Australia going, oh, well, it's 30 degrees here today. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for that.
But it has ended up really helping a lot of people, which I suppose, I know there's not a great deal that has been, a good side of lockdown, but I suppose you could argue that has been a positive outcome out of lockdown. And not only that, I suppose physically for you in terms of exercise, you're up and about, you're out early, aren't you? So you've got an audience waiting for you now.
I have. Well, it started off, because I don't know why, but I was just waking up at like 5 or 5:30. And I don't know about anybody else, but if I lay there, I end up with a stonking headache if I can't get back to sleep. So I just started getting up and taking the pooch for a walk. And like I say, I found all these walks, and I was like, 5:30, I was out walking Colwyn Bay. And by 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm doing my live, and I could have been anywhere. Loads of people were like, where are you today? I don't recognise that place. And I was like, no, I didn't either. So yeah, you're right. I think it's helped some people that do watch me. It's just helped them. And I think I get a lot of people that are watching that don't comment, don't interact or anything. But then occasionally I'll just get a private message of going, I really miss your walks when I don't watch them. Or sorry, I didn't catch you live this morning. And I go back, you don't have to be sorry. Just, I'm just doing it for me, and it's really helped me. It's helped me get through it, and I've shared my ups and I've shared my downs on it as well.
Well, you've kind of almost become the unofficial tourist information centre for Colwyn Bay. So speaking of Colwyn Bay, for people that may not have had the pleasure of going, what is it that you love the most? Whether it's in pre-pandemic times, whatever it might be, but what is it that's so beautiful about Colwyn Bay?
Well, you're on the doorstep to Snowdonia. The gateway through, before they built the A55, you literally would have come down the bottom of our road to come through Colwyn Bay to go to Snowdonia, and go climbing Snowdon. And the beach is amazing. The prom, the work that they've done on the prom is just it's really beautiful. And they're working on the pier at the moment. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, the pier collapsed into the water, and one of the original Victorian piers that had been built, and there was buildings on there. I can't remember the guy's name, but there was an artist that had done a mural in one of the buildings, and unfortunately they couldn't keep it. So it's completely gone, but they're rebuilding a small pier, like a boardwalk, I think you'd call it now. Right. But they've kept the Victorian railings, so they're in the process of putting all that back up now. It looks amazing, and it's just peaceful down there. And then you've got the woods, like I say, that are just a walk above us. There's so many walks around here, like I say, I'd not discovered before, and places to eat. There's some amazing places that are popping up. Well, before the pandemic, there were some amazing places. I'm just hoping most of them will be able to have survived the close.
And those, that idea around that seaside town. I mean, it's no secret we're in Morecambe, and I love Morecambe. I'm probably slightly obsessed.
Bit biased.
A bit biased with Morecambe, but it's that resurgence of that seaside town experience. I think the other thing that this pandemic has probably reminded the general population of is you have got, some beautiful places. All right, maybe not on your own doorstep, but within a drive of your own doorstep. And it kind of almost feels like it is going back slightly before those times of the package holiday when people we're going to go out for a day at the seaside. And Colwyn Bay has got just the most stunning landscape for that, hasn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, in the summertime, the beach is packed. It really is packed. And even last year, obviously, when social distancing still had to be, people were outside, but you could see the groups, and it was a little bit different to normal, like people normally on top of each other, but you could see the groups, how they'd like put their little windbreaks up and what have you, and it's like, well, this is our area.
Mark the spot.
And, and it's just amazing because it goes such a long way, and it's a sandy beach. A little bit of it's been, as far as I'm aware, someone will probably correct me somewhere along the line, but as far as I'm aware, has been a little bit reclaimed, sort of from the sea, and they've put more sand there. But the problem with that is then when we have the bad weather, which we do get, the wind and what have you, then all the sand that was reclaimed and put one place all ends up back at the other end of the beach. So when you look at the beach, sometimes you've probably got a 6-foot wall, and at the moment it's about 2 foot.
Right, yeah, because it's slid up to it to meet. We've got that here. It slides up to meet it, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just, and you can walk, because we've got the coastal. We're part of the coastal path as well, so you can actually walk from. We get cyclists that come from Chester, and they cycle through Prestatyn, Rhyl, and they can cycle all the way along right through to, I think it's Bangor. You could probably go a bit further, but most of it is on the coastline, and so that's a really, really good thing. You can walk from Colwyn Bay to Ross-on-Sea to Llandudno, and you can go the other way to Rhyl and Prestatyn, and it's a beautiful walk, just walking along the sea. For that, I love it, and like you say, I'm always talking about it. So,
so when people do come to stay with you, and I hesitate to use the word normal, but let's for now, under usual circumstances, what the people coming for? Are they coming for work? Are they coming for pleasure? Are they coming for both? What?
We get a good mixture, to be honest, and we always have. Obviously, right now, most people are coming for work that are staying with us because they're essential or key workers. But generally, what our business tends to be sort of like a Monday to Thursday can be, except for school holidays, but Monday to Thursday can be business, people coming like the council officers or the police headquarters or Network Rail. There's all sorts that's going on around us. And then the weekend normally would be your leisure people that are coming either for walks. People stay with us and then they go to the zip line, or they go to Bodnant Gardens. Bodnant Gardens is an amazing place to just go and lose yourself there. And they have the Laburna March. I couldn't think of the word then. They have an amazing Laburna March, and it's a tunnel of just yellow and that probably is going to be about March time. Whether they're going to be open for that and it'll get lost again this year, I don't know. But that people come just to see that.
So people are listening to this and they're thinking, well, when things are, when we're allowed, in terms of the layout, of your place, have you got family rooms? Have they got? I mean, what? So if I wanted to, turn up and have the weekend, what are the room types and sizes and things that people can take advantage of?
Yeah, well, we have a family room that sleeps up to 5 people. It's got a king bed in one side, and then it's interconnecting. It's got a single bed and a bunk bed, and both both rooms have a bathroom, so that we get a lot of families of 5. I'm funny enough, I'm a family of 5, so I'm the youngest, then my brother, my sister, and then was mum and dad. So we always struggle to find somewhere for 5, and we get a few people that say that, and we've ummed and ahed of whether to change that room and take the wall down. And when we've spoken to regular guests that have used that room, they go, don't pull the wall down. No, it's amazing. So they've got a tally either side, they've got a bathroom either side, so they can shut the door. Mum and dad can have a glass of wine and watch whatever they want, and the kids can watch whatever they want to watch in that side. And then we've got a couple of what we call luxury rooms, but they're slightly bigger, and they have a king beds in them. And we have one that has a spa bath, which I've been borrowing every now and then. Well, what's the point?
Not if it's
no one else can go in it. It's just, for me, it's been great because I can just get away from Noodle, my daughter, and just have a bit of space. But you can almost guarantee after 10 minutes she's up there.
Yeah, no, they're like I think they're like a homing pigeon. They know, don't they? They know when you've gone somewhere.
yeah. Where is she? Where's she gone? And then we've got a twin room on the ground floor, which is also a super king bed. And then we have a twin triple on the top floor, which again goes to a super king, or then it's 2 singles and we have a sofa bed in there. All our rooms are en suite, so there's no sharing bathrooms or anything like that. And then we've just got a couple of double rooms as well, and we do have 1 single. And when I say single, it is a single room, it's a single bed. It's always our last room to go. Doesn't matter what it is. We don't advertise that one online. It's just like the last room. If you need a room, we've got a room that can accommodate a single person, but it is on the top floor.
Right. So what are you looking forward to? That obviously we've got announcements coming soon, and potentially we'll all be coming out of this bit by bit. What are your kind of hopes for 2021?
Just that, I think you touched on it before about stuff being on the doorstep. Just that people don't sort of think, oh, I can't go on holiday. You can. You might not have the weather, and it's only bad weather if you're just not equipped for the weather that it's going to be. You know, North Wales is stunning. There's some stunning places to just go and visit. You don't have to spend money to like go on an adventure. You can just walk or have a wander around. There's so many, like I say, walks and places to see, castles and all that. So I'm just hoping that people don't leave it till last minute and then disappointed because they can't get rooms, but also realise what they've got here in this country. You know, as much as you know, the airlines and things like that, I know they need to get back working as well, but I think everybody needs to support. Personally, I'd like everybody to be supporting the UK economy.
And the UK tourism.
And help, because we've all had it bad, but tourism and hospitality it's probably going to take. I was on a webinar the other day, and one of the guys was talking about North Wales. In 2019, North Wales had the best year for profit wise, or for tourism, should I say, numbers. And they said in the webinar the other day that it possibly could take 20 years to get back to where we were in 2019. So, wow. You know, it's a big difference that's happened just in 12 months.
So people can find you on social media. If somebody, well, they can definitely go for a walk with you. We know that much. But if somebody wanted to find you on social media, and what's the best way to get you?
Best way, you can get us on our website, which is www. I always muddle that up. The 3 W's dot brynwoodlandshouse.co.uk.
And Bryn is spelled Bryn, isn't it?
Yeah.
brynwoodlandshouse.co.uk. Okay.
Yeah. And again, on social media, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, We are on Twitter, but we're not really active on Twitter because I still can't get my head around it. I always want to say too much. And you don't have enough space. I just can't get my head around the hashtag to change the word or whatever.
Yeah, to me, it's just where you go to find out breaking news, or if a train's late, that's pretty much what you got. Yeah.
And you can follow me, Tracey Toulmin. I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn. You know, I'm usually pottering around somewhere on the social media platforms trying to find what to do.
And in terms of bookings, so if they are going to the website, what are you going to do about bookings? Are you taking them on the basis that you're planning to open, so that you've got that, you know, Easter period, like you've said, you're already very busy for Easter, potentially, as long as that's allowed to remain open.
Yeah.
But people can still go on now and book on the basis that it's going to be open.
Yeah, and we're fairly flexible. We're just as flexible as the online travel agents. You know, if you book, and we don't at the moment, we're currently not taking a deposit because, you know, there's no point. You know, if we have to cancel because of COVID or anything like that, then obviously we try and move dates and things. So you can book online now, and if you book online using our website directly, we do have an early bird offer. So if you book in 30 days in advance, we've got an early bird offer for anyone staying 2 or 3 nights. You get that offer. I can't remember. But
what you're saying is, if I went on now and I booked that, and then because of regulations I wasn't able to, I'm not charged or penalised for that, and you're going to help me try and move it to a time when we can both, you've got space and I've got time. We've moved a number of bookings because we thought we were going to be open in March, and we've already had to move those. Obviously last year we moved bookings to this year. And so no one's penalised. What's the point? We're all in it together, aren't we? So, you know, the only criteria that we would have is 48 hours notice to change anything that isn't COVID related. If it was like all of a sudden Boris said, you know, we're closing again, then, you know, there's not a lot any of us can do about that. But yeah, we're being flexible. So you can go onto our website and book now for December, September, whenever you think it's going to be free to travel, because obviously none of us know at the moment what's happening. No, we don't. But hopefully
that's
going to become clear.
Yes. Well, we had ours in Wales on Friday, and it was about as clear as mud.
Right. Marvellous.
So I think what we got out of it was children up to the age of 7 are going back to school next week. Anything else wasn't really talked about, to be honest. So Monday the 22nd, hopefully we'll all hear a little bit more, but
a lot clearer. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what would be your kind of parting message to anybody in terms of what's the one lesson you've taken from this whole scenario of the last 12 months?
Keep going. You know, my lives every morning have really, really helped me. I'm not telling everybody to go out and do a Facebook Live at silly o'clock in the morning, but keep doing what you do, and don't hide away, especially hospitality. You know, if you are in hospitality and you have been closed from day one and you've not reopened, don't hide away from it. Start planning. You know, because even though you might plan something and then it gets kiboshed because we're still not open, and that don't be scared of like trying to. That's what I'm learning, because it is quite scary. You sort of think, oh, I can't plan anything. I can't do an offer, or I can't do this. But keep fresh, and for me is keep your business visible. Whatever business you're doing, keep visible. Keep talking to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Tracey, it's been a pleasure to spend time with you.
I'm a rambler, as you know.
In more ways than one. It's been
Perhaps
fantastic.
I should start my own rambling group or something like that.
The double ramble. We can ramble while we ramble. That'll be
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much for joining us. And let's keep our fingers crossed for a more prosperous 2021.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you ever so much for having me. It's been a pleasure and a laugh. So I hope everyone else has enjoyed it.
Bye for now.
Thanks, darling.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to hear more from us in the future, why not subscribe on your favourite podcast platform? If you'd like to be featured in one of our podcast interviews, then why not contact us? You can search us across social media as The Consult Centre or contact us at hello@theconsultcentre.com. Bye for now.